Ants guy, the juggernaut, Joyce.
Man, me and Carson, me and Shawn, I almost put Shawn out the car just a minute ago. I'm a big Joyce fan, man. I like Joyce. I like what I see from him, but you know, I was riding around with the expert, and he you know, we have two different set of eyes on Joyce. He beat
and trying to get his boy sniped.
I'm trying to put him in there with Deontay Wilder.
Oh my!
Okay.
Yeah, Joe Joyce, for anyone that doesn't know, stopped Christian Hammer in the fourth round, I believe, yesterday. He laid the hammer
to the hammer.
Yeah, and yeah.
Luis Ortiz, did he? I don't think he stopped him, did he?
I don't remember if Luis Ortiz stopped him.
Yeah, he may have went 12, but
yeah, and then he fought Tyson Fury. Hammer fought some guys.
Huey Fury.
Yeah, he is. Joe Joyce is just like, I don't know how to describe it. He's just like a fighter. I don't know how else to put it. Like, he's gonna take some shots. He's gonna throw some big shots. He clearly has a lot of power. And yeah, I don't. So you want to see Wilder next, Shawn? What was your contrary opinion there?
We were just kind of talking. And he said, I don't know if Deontay Wilder could beat him. And, you know, when you toss around all these names and people that you want to see or that you think Deontay Wilder should come back against, I never considered Joe Joyce to be one of those guys that Deontay Wilder could come back against until Ant brought up his name. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. If there was ever a guy I would want to see Deontay Wilder come back against, is Joe Joyce. No disrespect to Joe Joyce, but you're big and you're slow. You're big and you have no head movement. You're big and you have no foot movement. You are a straightforward fighter, not even a backwards fighter. You're just straight ahead with the jab and a pretty clean 1-2 if it's fast enough to get there. And then, as I told Ant, the body shots that he caught Hammer with, they were all by accident.
Turn that mother out.
Huh?
Turn that mother out.
I said, you know what, man? I said, I'm not the hate, not the hate on this dude, but he knocked this dude out by accident. Like, and what I mean by that is, it wasn't like he went down and looked at the body shot and threw the body shot. Wasn't like he even got in position to throw the body shot and threw the body shot. He just was throwing punches and the body shot came. And, you know, for the sake of words, it's like a tail. If I lean this way, you know, a hook is coming, or, you know, I'm going to go to the body. So to his credit, he didn't show the body shot was coming, but I don't think he necessarily meant to throw the body shot with an intent to hurt. I think it was a punch that both of them were punches, or three, however many they were that put Hammer down. I think that all of them were shots that Hammer just didn't expect. And Hammer, to keep it real, is no longer a fighter that's coming to the ring to win fights. He's a fighter that's coming to the ring to kind of serve his purpose, to, you know, make his money and be in the ring on fight night. You know, so I know that probably all of that sounds kind of hard, but no, I'm not. I've never been sold on Joe Joyce, and this fight certainly in a winning effort, a 4-round fight, and knocking dude down with 3 body shots that he never set up or never looked at or never really had an intent to land to hurt, does not sell me that he can beat the top guys at heavyweight.
On the flip side, it's pretty cool you can knock somebody out on accident.
Yeah. I said, man, he did that on accident. You know what I mean?
And then you are trying to knock people out on purpose and can't even do it.
But who am I hitting? Who was I hitting that wasn't prepared to take punches?
Yeah, true.
Formella.
You know?
Formella, he was ready for those shots. He was ready for all those shots.
Great.
But at the same time, Shawn, I mean, Joe Joyce, that would be a big fight. The way it'd be promoted and everything on both sides.
Yeah, and I had to look at that. The people want to see, have been used to seeing big guys up against big guys. And that's what you don't get with Joe Joyce, and you up until the latter half of Deontay's career. You didn't get a dude just as big as him, a dude with the physique like him, which is why we have been begging for Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder for so long. You had you had everything that you wanted in a professional heavyweight boxing match when you talked about Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. I definitely don't think that fight's gone yet. If Alexander beats Anthony Joshua again, I think that definitely takes a lot of the air out of the bubble of Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. I
like I don't, to be fair, I don't know what will be next for Joe Joyce, but if anything, I like that there will be another guy kind of thrown into the mix in those title fights. Now, yeah. So it's like, obviously we had Fury. It was kind of like Fury, Wilder, and Joshua. Those were the three guys. They were just going around beating everyone. And then you kind of get somebody else that's in there. Now you have Usyk in the mix. And Joe Joyce, whether he's the most skilled defensive fighter, he's going to be a tough night for anybody. And like Daniel Dubois was supposed to be the up-and-coming guy, and he broke his face.
Yeah. And I think that was the one that got me when he beat the hell out of him like that. Like, okay, this dude Joe Joyce might be suffering.
Yeah.
But then what was Dubois? Maybe he wasn't nothing.
Yeah, and I think if anything, whether he beats any of those top guys, if he beats AJ, Usyk, Fury, Wilder, if he can beat any of them, I don't know. But it will be a fun fight while he's in there. Joe Joyce isn't going to go in there and not just walk forward and throw big shots.
Yeah, because none of those guys are smoke. Like, none of those guys get in the ring and smoke any of their opponents. You know what I mean? They all are. Everybody at the heavyweight division beyond Tyson Fury, all of those guys are very systematic and have to build up to their knockout. You know what I mean? So I don't think we're going to get a situation where somebody's going to come in and let the fist fly and it be a 2-round fight, 1-round fight. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that I don't think that he beats anybody at the top level. And, it's still maybe another fight or two before he does see somebody that is a world champion. But at the same time, go ahead.
I was going to say, he's just an interesting enough wild card for me. Well, I don't think that he beats them. I would have no issue with him getting in there with any of them, just because I think his style. What do you think about Joyce overall, Zittel?
I mean, I think he's a fearless kind of guy in the ring, and in terms of wanting to take on anybody, I think he would take that Wilder fight. But I saw a lot of what Shawn was talking about, where if Wilder is still Wilder, he can make that fight potentially look a little bit like the Brazil fight, because stylistically, even though Joyce, I think, is better than Brazil, it's not that dissimilar, stylistically from what Brazil brought to the table. And Deontay, if he's still Deontay, could make a highlight reel knockout. But it's a dangerous fight because we don't know what's left of Deontay after that crazy trilogy with Fury. But with Joyce, I think he looked very susceptible to counterpunching. If he had to fight a guy with the hand speed of Andy Ruiz or Frank Sanchez, I think he'd get countered, especially by Sanchez, very badly. And I kind of just see a lot of what Shawn saw. I don't know. I don't think he'd beat a Usyk or a Fury or a Frank Sanchez. We got to see how Andy Ruiz looks against Ortiz, but he has such a hand speed advantage in that fight that he should be able to counterpunch Joe Joyce. But, he's an honest fighter with a lot of courage in there. It seems like he has a good chin. We know he can punch. So like you said, Carson, he's good for the division, but I don't see him getting to the title, but you need guys like him in the heavyweight division.